For more on the refugee crisis and the violent scenes unfolding along Hungary-Serbia border, let's talk to Michael Czinkota. He's a professor at Georgetown University and actually spent time in Hungary recently as an observer. Professor, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Explain to us the scenes we're seeing in Hungary along the Serbia border. We saw this razor fence, then today resorting to tear gas and water cannons to disperse hundreds of refugees and migrants. What is the mindset in Hungary? You were just there. Is it hatred? Is it fear? What is it?
It's major concern. To give you one example, when you have hundreds and thousands of people crossing the border in dire need of help, they come with their children and no money and no food, and suddenly they come to an apple orchard. How wonderful. Let's eat all the apples. Of course, in the background stands the Hungarian saying, this apple orchard is what keeps me going financially the rest of the year. So I can't have them eat my apples, but I don't want to fight them either because I understand how dire the situation is.
But isn't there a sense of empathy? So many of these people have gone through a terrible war. They're women, they're children, their entire families who, as you mentioned, are in desperate need of help, and they've put up this razor wire. I mean, I understand the concerns you're expressing here, but what is that really the solution, these pictures we're looking at right now?
It absolutely is no solution. It's just pushing the problem back for the time being. But Hungary, keep in mind, has not more than 10 million people and is in a very precarious economic situation itself. So the Hungarians would be happy to ship everybody on to Austria, to Germany. And from my conversations with migrants, they don't want to stay in Hungary either. Mm-hmm. They just want to get through to Germany or to England.
So why not let them through so they can use Hungary as the point to get to their next destination?
Absolutely. And Prime Minister Orban tried doing exactly that. But Austria and Germany did not wish to take people which weren't processed. So it's a question of money. It's a question of facility, and it's a question of information. If you think about it in terms of sovereignty, nations live off of their sovereignty, which means they have the information, they know who comes in, and they have control. And for a while, there was a breakdown in the system, and Hungary now has taken measures which are certainly not
But do you find it interesting,
welcome.
Professor, that Hungary seems to be the only country in the region that's resorting to these tactics? There is no razor fence along any other border. In fact, Hungary wants to now build a fence along the border with Romania.
Absolutely, and other countries have built fences before. But I agree with you. If you think about it, in Christianity, the most fervent prayer at Christmas is, why didn't Jesus have shelter? Why did they have to be in a manger? And we forget that it's not just Jesus, it's other people. It's those people who are now the migrants who need shelter, who need help. And Germany has now taken some very positive, good steps. And that should enable other countries like Austria, like Hungary, to show that they're really well-minded, but they're also limited in terms of their resources.
Professor, very quickly, I have to ask you about this quota system EU is floating around, distributing 160,000 refugees. What do you think about this as a solution? Again, you don't think this is really a viable solution because they're going to keep coming.
Absolutely. And Germany alone can't do it. So you are talking about the Baltics, you're talking about England, who also need to accommodate people. It can't be all Germany all the time. But there are concerns in terms of control, in terms of sovereignty, and that keeps people from holding back. I do think, however, that especially now with the greater visibility and keeping in mind that the problem is so much larger if we add in the refugees in Turkey, in Jordan, in Lebanon, in Libya, that we need to reach out and say, what can we personally do to help these people?
We'll leave it at that. Professor Michael Czinkota, thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you.